Hello ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, what's up? My name is Devious, and today we are talking about Arknights, and specifically, a video that Watch Mojo kind of beat me to. I was going to do a top 10 list of characters to treasure and cherish and throw all of your resources at, but Mojo's top 10 beat me to it, and my god, they did a horrible freaking job. Like, I legitimately hate everything about what they uploaded. It was so bad. So today I'm going to go through my top 10 units that I believe you should focus on leveling and getting up there, and units that will just make life easy for you. So, I'm going to start this with a disclaimer before I even run my intro. There are no specific 6 stars on this list. I will be naming single units, but quite a few of the quote-unquote places on this list are taken up by character specialities, I guess. Specializations, specific classes. We'll get there when we get there. But essentially, I'm not going to be naming any 6 stars that you're going to have to whale to get specifically. Most of these are going to be 4 stars and even some 3 stars. I will be naming a 5 star or 2, but they're worth the exception, trust me. So, let's boogie. Alright, I want to keep this video somewhat short, so first on the list is AoE Snipers and Casters. These are going to be basically your crutch units, and I have no issue admitting that. I firmly believe, not you, Aya. Aya is amazing, by the way. I got so lucky with her. But essentially, these units are going to be your best/easiest way to deal with crowds of enemies, of which there are quite a few. Having AoE casters, and even if you're using 12F, it's AoE damage. AoE damage is good. It makes life a lot easier. You don't have to drop as many melee units to block until your single targets can do their damage, even if you're just using lava, and that's pretty much all the AoE you have in your formation. I subsisted on lava for quite a while because I got Gitano and didn't really want to upgrade her. Meteor I lucked into, and holy crap. But yeah, essentially these are just really, really solid units that I would recommend to anyone. There is no reason not to have at least one AoE unit in your squad at any given time. It makes life so much easier. I looked into Skyfire super early, which is the only reason that Lava is still sub-elite 1. But yeah. So just to go through the list here, from 2nd tier to 5th tier, sorry, 2 star to 6, Jesus, 2 star to 5 star, good lord. In case you're just listening to the video, for the AoE casters is going to be 12F at 2 star, then Lava at 3 star, Gitano at 4 star, Skyfire at 5 star. The next set is going to be the AoE Snipers, which are the 3 star Catapult, 4 star Shiryuki, and 5 star Meteor. Highly recommend any of these units that you can get your hands on. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I pull Shiryuki over Meteorite because she's a little bit cheaper. Same thing with Gitano, it's the whole reason I upgraded her to that level. But, yeah, moving on. Next on the list is going to be my girl, Texas. Now this is one of 2 5 stars on this list. Yeah, this is one this is one of 2 specific 5 stars on this list. And guys, if ever you wail for a unit, I would highly recommend that you make Texas that unit because of this skill right here. It will affect the 8 squares around her, as well as 1 extra in each cardinal direction, up, down, left, right. Deals quite a bit of arts damage, and then a pretty noticeable stun that will save your butt at some point. Texas has been my crutch unit since I started, as evidenced by these 166% trust. Uh, Also, you know, the fact that I'm from Texas and she's a wolf and I have a wolf tattoo on my arm. So, Texas checks a lot of boxes for me. But honestly, she's a really solid unit. Good stats. She even has this tactical delivery shenanigans. Not really sure how to say much else. Texas is a really, really good unit. If you have her, I would highly recommend she never leave your formation, except for in very niche situations. Next on the list, we are talking about Meteor, aka Archer Mommy, aka why do I have these urges? So, Meteor is not necessarily an anomaly because Meteorite does a similar thing, but she shreds armor. She shreds a noticeable amount of armor. Can I upgrade this? Yes, I can, and I'm going to. This is 100% worth it, by the way. I burn all of that happily. So I was going to say, you know, 25%, that's a quarter of armor. No, we're taking that all the way up to 30% armor shred on the auto version. And on the manual version, 170% attack, good. 35% armor shred for 5 seconds, good. AoE-ish, 5 enemies, good burst. I use the top ability, or the first ability, more often than not because I very much like just throwing my units out and having them sit there. You can do either. They're both extremely useful. Meteor is my assassin assistant, if you will. I use her in combination with another couple of characters on this list. Well, actually, I basically just use her as a tank shredder. I'll put her down on a line that doesn't have a caster, and I will not necessarily ever notice a problem, because those high defense, low resistance units that only really take arts damage, suddenly they become a lot squishier when Meteor is nearby. So yeah, she makes units a lot squishier, a lot easier to kill, makes stages go a lot smoother, and yeah, I really like to have Meteor in my squad. Next on the list is possibly my favorite looking unit in the game, or at least one of. For totally unrelated reasons to what you're thinking, I'm sure, this is Estelle. Estelle is fantastic. First of all, she's tanky as hell. Second of all, she has a self-heal whenever she or anyone else kills a unit within the 8 surrounding grids. Third of all, she has an attack buff of 100%. That brings her up to almost 1,000 attack. That's crazy. She can't be healed by allies when that skill's active though. However, she does have that self-heal. This essentially means that I use her as a solo lane holder. Maybe throw in some arts damage dealer, like say one of the AoE units, to make sure that she's doing okay. She is also AoE herself, so if you just have like a lot of squishy-ish units that don't do too much damage, or maybe do a somewhat noticeable amount of damage, and you can't quite fit a healer there, but you still need someone to hold it, Estelle is always going to be my pick. She's pretty self-sufficient, does her job really well. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. She's just a really solid guard. Blocks 2. Probably my favorite guard in the game, if I'm honest. Next up is a bit of a cautionary tale. I have not used this unit or any unit like her, but the next on the list is going to be Mouse and Indra, who are both guards that deal arts damage. Now, similarly to Estelle, if you need someone to hold a line that is going to see a lot of high defense units, maybe throw this character down with a healer, and that lane is pretty much taken care of. These are great for supplementing damage on a line though, and either one of them are going to do very well against pretty much most enemies in the game, because they do have a respectable amount of attack, and they do arts damage, which gets around a lot of the trouble units' defense. So what I like to do is put down, oh, when I was testing for this unit, to be fair, I like to put down mouse facing backwards and essentially just have her whack away at units while I put a guard behind her and create kind of a little kill box. That gives her plenty of block potential with the defender, and she just does quite a bit of damage. Really good at clearing sort of higher tier waves without using a caster if, say, you can't fit one. But yeah, really solid unit that I wish I had buffed up earlier, and I'm hoping and praying that I get Indra, but if I don't, Mouse is going to find her way onto my main squad. Next up is another guard, and I know there's going to be one more after this. I'm sorry. Let me tell you about Melanka. Now I'm gonna make an example here, and I hope you follow me for this. But I do have quite a bit of trust on Melanka. Melanka also does have this loveliness, and once I max her out, she's gonna get even more. 734 attack. I want you to remember that number. Scotty, who is identical level, 730. Now granted, I don't have as much trust on Scotty, and I don't have her second thing coming out, but for a 3-star to have similar attack as a 6-star, I shouldn't have to tell you how awesome this unit is. And she is a little bit cheaper. Actually, she is quite a bit cheaper because she's so easy to max out. You're going to get plenty of Melanthas from recruitment, by the way, so don't even worry about it. She does a lot of damage. I use her similar to how I described using Mouse, which is essentially put her in front of a defender and just let him whack away all day long. Throw a healer up there and you're pretty much fine. Melanka is also a pretty solid assassin if you can get her into a fight with a high tier unit and somehow not take a ridiculous amount of damage. This works really well with Silence's drone if you have her, but in general she's just really solid extra damage that you can throw into a line for fairly cheap, and she's a 3-star, so there's honestly no reason that Melanka shouldn't be in your formation at some point. Next up on the list are my ranged guards. Now, similarly to the past two, and it just occurred to me that I could have squashed these together, but they are good for different reasons. These augment the damage of your line without putting themselves in immediate danger. They are double blockers, as far as I know, but the ones worth noting are Frostleaf, Lapland, and Silver Ash. I don't think there are any more, but funnily enough, all of them have very different and still extremely useful abilities. Frostleaf has a slow and a freeze on her skills. Lapland has an ability steal passive and AoE/arts damage on her skill, and then Silver Ash, funnily enough, has mostly defensive abilities with crazy burst potential once you get him to E2. The reason these are so good, in my opinion, is this right here. You can put them behind 2 other units and they will still be doing damage to the front line. That is crazy good, in my opinion, and I'm very much ashamed that I haven't gotten a chance to use this character too much yet. Very highly recommend, always useful, and they can help a little bit with air units, which is always nice. If/when you get Frostleaf, which you most likely will from recruitment or just random pulls, highly recommend you use the crap out of her. Or any of the others, if you so happen to draw them. By the way, if you draw a Lapland, then congratulations, you got my most wanted unit. Alright, next up on the list are defenders that heal. Now, it should go without saying that a melee unit that is self-sufficient with its healing is really solid. I'm not going to talk about Spot because he just dropped and I haven't used him, but he does have a healing ability. Yeah, can heal allies using his skill. That's fantastic. However, I'm talking about specifically Gummy And then if you should be so lucky as to get them, Neural and... I went the wrong dadgum way. Did I seriously just... There we go. So, Neural and Saria. Both of them are really good defenders. In my personal opinion, I always run with a defender that can heal because it's functionally a supplemental healer. And since I've gotten Saria, I have had quite a number of games where I haven't dropped a second healer because I just didn't feel the need. Saria was keeping everyone topped up. Gummy can do something similar, just not quite as fast or efficiently, and Neural is also pretty solid at it. It's basically a supplemental healer that blocks 3 targets. There is almost no downside because you're going to have a defender in your squad anyway. You're going to have a defender in your squad, right? And honestly, a lot of people are going to run 2 defenders, so why not make one of them a healer? I'm pretty sure you get Cardigan for free. If not, you get plenty of copies of both her and Gummy. I would recommend running Gummy over Cardigan because Gummy can heal allies as opposed to just herself. Any of these units are really solid. So yeah, highly recommend. Next up on the list is going to be the Turtle Girl herself, Korra. I cannot describe how much I love this character after giving her a fair shake, because this ability right here stops attacking extra block. She is the only unit that I know of that can block 4 units at a time. Defense plus 80%, restores HP by 1% of max HP per second. She is extremely tough, very tanky. She even has the she has the Melanka thing, but adjusted a little bit to defense, whereas basically every talent, skill, and ability she has is geared towards defense. This is the super tank. I run pretty much Korra and Saria, and if I have units getting past them, it's because there's more units than they can block, and more than 7 units means I don't have enough damage, which is not the defender's fault. This is just a really, really good, fantastic defender. You get her for free from the cert shop, I think. Yeah, from the cert shop, the red certs. I honestly can't think of a reason why you wouldn't use Korra unless you got another defender that's better, but I can't think of another defender that's better because she can block 4. This is a 6-star in disguise. And you get her for free. So essentially, get her to E1, plant her in a lane, push her skill if you notice that she's having a little bit of trouble, get some damage and a healer nearby, and that lane's taken care of. Last unit on the official list is Amia. Now, Amia is a 5-star. However, you get Amia for free because she's the poster girl of the game, and of course you do. I'm not going to go into detail about Amia because everyone has her. You can do your own experimentation. I am not going to adjust your point of view unnecessarily. Amia is one of the best single target casters in the game. She has a lot of attack speed buffs. All of her skills are useful in the right situation. And I'm going to be real with you, Chief. I just have not been let down while using Amia. I recently got Nightmare, and I even got AF Viala in like some single pulls not too long ago. I was just running through them as much as I could. Got AF. I still use Amia on occasion. No particular rhyme or reason to it. I like the character. She does quite good. I'm used to her skills, and you probably will be too, unless you just random pull in AF Viala. Even then, she makes a fantastic single target caster to just have to round out your roster with. So last on the list before I end the video, please use your supports, my guys. Use your supports because they love you and they want to help you. And they do so freaking well when you give them the chance. Don't be like me. Don't be like me who got a 6-star support and a 5-star less than a week later and just ignore what these wonderful characters can bring to your roster. Use your supports. Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, that is it for this video. I apologize if I got a little bit ranty here, but I'm trying to work without an actual script. Let me know. Let me know how I did, and yeah, drop me a like if you liked it, drop me a dislike if you disliked the video, and if you did dislike the video, please by all means drop me a comment saying why. I will be happy to take any constructive criticism you may be willing to offer. Aside from that, enjoy your grinds, my guys. Show love to your units, especially your supports. And I will see y'all next round.